Back, or we're still lagging? Alright, no, I'm not. Can you guys hear me and see me? Is it working or no? Alright, see, it seems like it's working now. Alright, well, let's keep going. I don't know. Alright, let's go on to more friendlier topics, I guess. Let's not upset the you know what I mean. I think we found what my channel's not allowed to talk about now. It'd be so funny if there's, like, you know, a group of them by the computer watching YouTube live streams. Oh, they're talking about us. Even the feds are probably like, yeah, you made a mistake, buddy. You should be talking about them. They got the power, I guess. Who would have known that was the one thing on my channel that I wasn't allowed to talk about? But we're okay now, right? We're good? Good to the next, I went real quick online to see if there was, like, power outages or issues, but the only thing I could think of is maybe there is a storm somewhere in the area and it's knocking out like a Comcast to hub or something, which is a possibility. Hey, Joe. No, you didn't. Well, you kind of... You just missed some talking and YouTube didn't like it. So... Lesson learned. Unless there's a crazy storm somewhere that I haven't, that's coming my way. That's a possibility. Yesterday was supposed to be a crazy storm. So who knows if it's happening today. You know, I wouldn't say that these storms I wouldn't say they're crazy. I think people just forget that we've always had crazy storms. I think it's just people are making it out to be more than what it is. Because, like, you know, I was talking to my parents and even they said it. Back in the day, we used to have storms and, you know, stuff like in heat waves all the time. We just didn't have people losing their minds over it. It was kind of just normal. You know, I remember as a kid, I used to work at the, you know, the pool, the town pool, and we used to have heat waves all the time. You know, and even when we had the heat waves back then, we were always told, you know, keep an eye on the people in case they get, you know, heat stroke, or if you see any elderly people and they look like they're struggling, make sure you know, get them some water. So I don't know, it's like, and I remember winters were always crazy. Like, we used to have like snow and it would be like 3 feet and we would have to go out shoveling to make money. So I personally think that we've always had this type of weather. I think it's just the media and social media makes it out to be worse than it is. That's what I see. That's kind of how I see things. You know, like, every time I watch the news in the winter time, oh, it's an ice age, it's the worst winter ever, and I'm sitting there like, I used to walk outside and the snow would be like 3 feet tall. It's only like a half an inch and they're acting like it's the worst thing ever. So, I don't know. I think it's media. And I also think it's a generation of people who don't go outside, so they don't know how, like, normal weather is. I gotta be careful though, YouTube might not like this talk either. YouTube would be like, oh, he's on to us. Well, the old saying was, back in the, what was it, the 70s, we were going to run out of gas and oil in 10 years. And then in the 80s, we were going to be flooded in 10 years. And in the 90s, so it's always something in 10 years, right? I don't know. You really think it's that crazy? I just think growing up, we just didn't care about the weather. We just went outside and dealt with it. You know, it's kind of, you know, alright, so I used to work at the pool, right? And I was working in the where you would rent out the, I would do maintenance and they would rent out the basketballs and ping pongs and all that stuff. And I remember there would be days where it would be hot as hell, and I'm talking about June, July, and we would have a crazy rainstorm and nobody would come to the pool. And I remember everybody would be wearing sweaters outside because it was cold. You know, they would still wear their shorts, but they would have a sweater on. So I think that's normal. You know, you'd have this heat wave and then it would get cool afterwards. But I'm just going off of what I remember, so. Hey Dana, how's it going? Yeah, so I don't know. Then again, if I start talking about weather weapons, I'll probably get booted again. I'm being watched, guys. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting there on the shoes. Little by little. Getting there. We gave her shit kickers. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to curse anymore? Is that right? Yeah, I think Peach is probably going to be the winner. As far as everybody watching, I feel that I'm not sure which one will be my favorite when they're done. But I think Peach is probably going to be the fan favorite. But then again, did we have the poll last week and everybody said Misty? So, could change. Yeah, we're not going that crazy. Now we're not going gaga crazy. We're going more latex boots. Still got to figure out the design of the sides of the boots. Kind of just working at the bottoms for right now. I think everybody left the stream last time, but I talked about there's some Bowser clips. So instead of doing like loops of belts, we could do the Bowser clips instead. Try not to squeeze the stuff I just did. This is what I was thinking. I don't know if Raz is in chat. We had a lot of issues, but I think I saved the page. Let me see. Let's see. No, it's not it. It's not it. That's the throne. This here. So I'm thinking of maybe getting Raz to print out a bunch of these, and I can use these as Damn it. Copy. Copy. There we go. So I'm thinking of getting those and maybe have Raz print out a bunch of those. And then instead of doing like buckles, we can use those as sort of like a strap or something, you know? I think that, so this way we can have like Bowser metal pieces that are holding the straps together. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, I'm working on the list for stuff for you to print, Raz. So we'll get that list out to you in items once I get a little bit further. This way we could do everything in one shot. So I figure what we'll do is we'll do the boots, you know, with the zippers on the inside, and then on the way we could do like those belt buckle straps or something on there. I think that'll look kind of cool. Instead of trying to put stars and mushrooms, we kind of make her theme Bowser because she's kind of more evil. So we'll do Bowser stuff on her instead. Because I figure I gotta save that picture, but I want to put straps here with like buckles, and I think putting the Bowser, 3 of them there, would look kind of cool, which is kind of here. So this month's going to be a pain in the ass for me. I got a lot of doctor visits for my parents. I got jury duty. So I don't think I'm going to get a lot of side stuff done. I'm going to try, but I don't think this is going to be a good month for getting stuff done. Jury duty is going to suck. I know my luck. I know my luck. I'm going to... The past 2 times I had jury duty in my life, I had to go there, sit down there all day long, and then they said go home. So I got a funny feeling I'm going to have to sit there for like 2 or 3 days, not get picked, and then go home. I almost got picked at the second one. I think it was around 2015 I had to go. I remember sitting down, and they were calling people in for the trial. And it was actually about a elderly man that got kicked out of, he was a janitor for a high school, and they fired him because of his age. So he was suing for age discrimination. And I was like I was the third, they went through like a bunch of people, and they had 3 more candidates to pick for the jury. And what happened was they all picked all the people they couldn't kick off, and they couldn't kick any more people off. So the last 3 people had to go on to the jury duty no matter what. And I was like the 4th one. So I was just right about there. And if they called me, I would have said, well, my father was a janitor at one point and the same thing happened to him. So they probably would have said, okay, we don't want you. But, yeah, I didn't make that one. So, if I do have to go in, I'm bringing myself some comic books to read. Because I don't think they allow you to use your phones and stuff anymore. I'm not sure. So I think I'm going to bring some comics. Alright, let me wash these out real quick. Alright. What do we got here? Well, I can imagine. I don't think many, like, I had a friend who got called on a few jury duties in PA, and he says most of the time people just kind of, like, when he gets ready to go to court, they realize they're going to have to go through a shitload of fees, and they kind of make a deal. So this way you don't have to pay those fees. So usually, like, a lot of court cases, I think, don't make it. But, like I said, I know my luck. I'm pretty sure something's going to happen, and I'll have to go. Alright, where am I at with this stuff? Okay. Alright, let's kind of go over everything, because I think that's kind of almost for the day. But she's looking good. Get down. Alright, so alright, once the age is done, we'll kind of sand it up a bit, kind of sand these down a little bit, but I like the way it's kind of tight around there now. What I will be doing is I'm going to sort of Dremel out a little bit here, and I'll add some wrinkles here and sort of wrinkles back here as well. But I think we got to do the boots first before I do that. So we got to sort of sand these heels down, and then we got to get the boots on, kind of get those going. So I'm thinking what I might try to do is kind of add a little wrinklage around the boots, like it's sort of tight there too, squeezing up. And then kind of once that's kind of done, we can start working up toward the outfit. Now, for those who came late into the stream, so you see all the hands back here. So what happened was, I put the magnet in here, and then I was going to put the magnet in there, and I made a mistake. I probably should have put the magnet in here first, and then put the magnet in here. But the problem was, these keys cut weren't actually perfectly touching, so it's too much of a pain in the ass to try to work with magnets in resin like these, unless they already pre-cut the holes, and I didn't. So what happened was I put the magnet in here, and I already had the magnet in here, and I put it in, and it sort of locked up on me a bit. So when I pulled it out, I broke this finger, and this broke off. This cracked right here. You can kind of see the crack. So that was kind of a mess. So I figured I'm going to put the rods like I normally do with magnets and removable stuff, so it's easier, and I have more control of making the magnet system. Plus, this will be a little bit more sturdy too with a magnet system like this. So that's kind of what I came up with. So we're doing that for all the arms. So one thing I wanted to ask too, I something I was brainstorming since I broke the finger. I remember in the beginning we talked about the whip, but I also talked about maybe doing like a whip with vines. Should we keep the crop with her or do a whip, like create a whip? The only reason why I'm suggesting the whip is because if we keep her arm like this, it's very long. It's very extended long for display purposes. So I'm not sure if we should keep it like this or maybe create a whip in her hand and have a whip coming down, or maybe the whip could wrap around her. I don't know. What do you guys think? Keep the riding crop or maybe a whip? Something to think about when we... But what I need to do next is I gotta start getting the head magnetized, because I figure if we're gonna start working on her outfit, I got to get all this sort of keyed up. So I did Dremel out the hole there. So I will sort of get that going for the magnet in the head. And then we can start kind of working on the body outfit and everything. Well, I have the ball and chain for her base. Where did I put that piece? It's over here somewhere. Here it is. So I did print this out for the base. So I don't know. I gotta. We could kind of brainstorm a bit and see what would work. Because if I do, I'm gonna rebuild this because this is too flexible. I don't like it. It'll probably sink over time on somebody. So, hey, what's up, Elio? How's it going? But yeah, so I don't know. It's either we keep the riding crop, but what I'll have to do is I'll have to rebuild all this. I thought about keeping this, but trying to Dremel something into here for this would be too much of a pain in the ass, so I'll just rebuild it with a rod. I don't know. Something we got to think about. We got time, because I figure once I get the arm on there, I'm going to have to sort of work out the rest of the body and everything. You know, I figure we get the head on there, we get it magnetized, but before I attach the hair to the head, I could sort of re-sculpt, you know, do the outfits, get the arms magnetized, get the main body sculpted, and then we can do the hair around the sculpt, and then we can work out the arms with everything else. Yeah, I can make it shorter. You know, I can make a, you know, it doesn't have to be as long. So, like, if I was to make it, if this is the arm. Wow, why does this camera do this all the time? I think every time I get close to it. Hold on, I just hate that blue tint, it bothers the hell out of me. There we go. Yeah, so if the arm is here, right? I mean, there's a couple other ways. One, we could do the riding crop like this and shorten it, because the hair is going to be back there. Or we shorten it to more that, like that length. But I did keep this hand like this so I can bend this too. So we can sort of bend the hand too if I wanted to. I don't want to bend it now, I'll break a finger, but so we can bend the hand a little bit as well, kind of maybe go up a little bit higher like this. So, like, the idea was sort of to keep this. It's gonna crack it. Shit. I have to. Alright, we'll save that. I don't want to do it now. Probably should have put a thinner piece in there. But I could bend it with a rod. Alright, we'll plan for that a little bit later. I don't want to screw this up now. But yeah, we'll either make it a little bit shorter, or we'll do a little bit of a, instead of forward, a little bit higher. So we could do that. Alright, so that's Peach. Now for Misty, alright, we got So for Misty, I think we're gonna get the head attached. We got the shoes started. So what I'll do is I'll prime this up and clean it up, and then I'll start. I got to do like the lip area of the sneaker, and then what we'll do is we'll measure out the laces and we'll start working on the laces. But I might do the laces last. You know, get a lot of the other outfit first and then do the laces at the end. Just get the basic shoe going. So I think next week we're gonna work on our shorts. I figure we can start getting this stuff done, get the arms done, and we can go from there. So maybe we'll do the shorts first, and then I'll attach the head. I cleaned up my floor, so I moved everything on the shelves. I figure instead of putting the head on right now, we can do it later. And then, because I'm a little bit worried of like, if I'm turning her, working on her booty and shorts, I might break an ear. And I don't want to do that. So but I still got to fix her cleavage a bit too. So yeah, so I'll fix the cleavage a little bit. We'll work on her shorts, and then by then the arm should be magnetized, and we can add the head later. I just don't want to snap everything. But yeah. So the shorts will be like, you know, you work in little sections. We kind of start off up there, and then maybe what I'll do is I kind of layer the piece around her, make it rough and ripped up, go around there and everything, and just slowly build it all up. So it might not be perfectly even, you know, maybe this will be a little bit longer, this will be a little shorter, so it's going to be ripped up shorts. I was also thinking maybe, like, I might even sort of kind of pull some around here like so. You know? Maybe do a little, just to kind of have a little more fun with it. I don't know, kind of toy with it as we work on it. Play with it. So that's kind of where Misty is. Now for Cammy, I think the best thing to do for her so for Cammy, I gotta work out her. No, we gotta start with her head should be attached. Alright, so for Cammy, one thing I wanted to ask you guys, if we should do this. So we have. So should we go with the short sleeve shirt instead of the long sleeve, only because her arms are going to be magnetized? So I was thinking we kind of go with the short sleeve instead. So this way I don't have to worry about the long sleeves. So I'm thinking maybe we should do that instead. But our head's gonna have to be attached. I mean, we could still throw a choker on her, but I think attaching the head's probably the best bet. But yeah, I think definitely short sleeves. Or do we keep it rolled up? Do you think if we do rolled up sleeves or just go short sleeve? Because for Cammy, basically, we talked about is sort of doing a bra, right? Doing some kind of bra. And then the shirt is going to... And then it's going to come up to her waist up here, right? Should kind of come like there, and then we can have the knot like this. Now, Vigilante, this is going to be Schoolgirl Cammy. This is what we voted on. I have to figure out where I'm going to do the knot on the shirt. Yeah, because it's Schoolgirl Cammy. She's going to have her, she's going to be blowing a kiss to, like that. No, Elio, these are Patreon voted characters. So these are what people voted on, and it kind of got pulled out of a hat, and then at the end we do a silent auction on Patreon for people who are interested in purchasing them. And if no one wants them, they end up on eBay. Yes, Raz has a hat we're going to give her, and then we have hair pieces, but we're going to print out new hair pieces to make them a little bit longer. So she's going to have the hat, and the hair pieces are going to be longer. But we're going to sculpt the skirt. We have the desk for her. So I did have a chance to sort of sand down the desk. So we went with an old school desk. So, still building it. So it's going to be an old school desk behind her. There is a flap for this, but that's in the garage at the moment. So I did have a chance to sand this down. And then I did sand these down a bit too. I sanded this stuff down. Still got a little bit more. It was a low poly desk. So I had to sort of thicken this up and everything. So the idea is it's going to be Cammy standing next to a desk. And then we'll probably put like I think I might find like a one of those zipper backpacks on Etsy that are in scale, and we could throw maybe some Street Fighter stuff in the bag. Oh, these things were tough as nails. They were great for everything. I mean, they could withstand whatchamacallit, nuclear power blasts and stuff. But so the idea is I gotta this is the base for the desk. I gotta build rods so the rods could go in the desk, and then you could pop them out. Because trying to put it all together and then like it'll be a pain in the ass. So, but that's what we got with the desk so far. But yeah, all right. So what I'll do is I am going to. We got to get the magnet situated. And then once the magnets are situated, we'll get the area where the skirt's going to start. We'll kind of work on the top, and then I'll do the skirt at the end. Skirt definitely at the end, because trying to do the skirt first and then breaking it by accident is going to be a nightmare. But I did sand up the booty, so we'll definitely see sort of her booty underneath the skirt. So that's kind of what that's where we're at with that. So. Thank you, Elio. Yeah, you can email me. I'm kind of booked up for the summer and fall right now, but once this fall comes to an end and I go into the winter, I'll probably start planning out, you know, winter and spring stuff. I just have a couple people that have been waiting for years on stuff, so I gotta focus on all their things. But doesn't hurt to send me an email and I'll get back to you and talk about stuff. So as far as Misty goes, though, we'll kind of go over the base real quick. Going to sand the base down a little bit more. It's just been so hot. I can't burn out my Dremel tool too much with this. Like today would have been a good day if I had time because it's cooler outside. I could have used the Dremel a lot, but when the garage is like 110 degrees, it'll just kill the Dremel tool. It's nuts. But if I could Dremel out this a little bit more, and then we'll have the side duct behind her. I think what I'll do is I'll build the dirt up so he's kind of at an angle a little bit more to catch her booty. And then we have I figure once I Dremel this out a little bit more, the skull will fit into there a little bit. And then on her left hand, we'll have this on the staff. Yeah, this is Savage Land Misty. So think of like Savage Land Rogue. This is Savage Land Misty. Sort of, it's kind of all the sketching we were doing. So you know, Savage Land Rogue, but it's going to be Misty instead. So this is kind of like the idea of the pose. So her left hand it's gonna have the staff, where is it? Yeah, so this is her left hand. So this will be there. And then on her staff is gonna have this, I forget what this guy's called. Eye something, right? So, and then Raz was able to put a Pokeball and change up this hand on this hand. So this is that Sonya Blade statue. So she's going to have the Pokeball in this hand. And then this hand's going to have the staff. So she's going to have a lot of skin to her. A lot of skin. But yeah, and the idea too is I have all that fake grass from the previous Savage Land Rogue I did. So this will be like a little bit of water, and this is going to be sunken into the water. So I just got to Dremel it out more. That's all. And for Peach, we're going to have she's going to be next to a throne. So I have somebody in New Jersey that can print out the throne. So we'll print that when she's closer to being finished, so I can figure out, get the throne in scale with her, and then I can figure out the base. Got a lot to do, but they're slowly getting there now. Starting to work out the elements on the body so things kind of flow a little bit more. But that's the 3 characters we got going. This what is it? This head for the Tomb Raider. It's a really good sculpt. So it should look good for Misty for Savage Land. It's not a bad head sculpt. I'm going to sculpt the hair from scratch, so we'll try to get a cool looking hair as close as I can to Misty, but in my way. That's where I'm at with everything. Pretty happy with it all, but I think Peach is coming along pretty good now. This base is just temporary until I figure out the next base. off of that. There we go. Yeah, so Peach is coming along pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the leggings now. Sand it down a bit, work out some more, and it looks like it's, you know, because it's a little bit rough over here, but once I sort of sand this down and stuff, it'll look tight and squeezing up the body, which is kind of cool. Alright, I'm starting to get connection errors again. I am going to call it for today, because that, I don't want to go through that stream crap again. Alright, so like I said, it's going to be a bad month. I don't think I could do many mid-streams because of all the doctor's appointments and jury duty. But hopefully next month's a little bit better, so we'll see. But that's it for today. Sorry about the stream earlier. Just YouTube was getting angry at us. But so you guys have a good rest of your weekend, okay?